So to start off with, we're going to actually use a magic ring for this one because it's hard to know how much space you're going to need for the 15 double crochets that you need to start with. Using the tail end of the yarn, we make a hoop and then just grab a little bit or pinch a bit of the wool from the tail and pull it through and pull it down like that. And to check that you've got it right, you need to pull the tail and make sure that it's pulling it. Leave a fair bit of wool. It could come in very handy later on because the star is an appliqué, so we might be able to use that for part of the attachment part at the back. So to get started, this is how I would start. I always sort of leave the tail down the bottom there. You put your hook into that magic circle and hold on to it where the knot is there. And we're going to pull through 1, 2, 3 chain. And you guessed it, that's going to be our first pretend double crochet. Then we're going to do 2 more. It's 1, yarn over, put it through the magic circle, yarn over again, yarn over, pull it through 2 and 2 more. And to make it easier for us, this is not something that I've seen done, but I think it makes it easier if you're a beginner. We're going to do 1 chain in between, just like we do when we're doing our granny squares. We're going to do our double crochets in groups of 3, but for this star we're going to actually need 5 groups of 3 because the star has 5 points. So there's the next 3. I'm going to do a chain. So I've got 2 lots, so we're going to need 5 all together. Okay, so we've now got our magic circle. Just pulling that little bit out. And we've got 5 groups of 3. There's the first group, using the 3 chain as a pretend double crochet. The chain, another 3, chain, another 3, chain, and so on, and finish with the chain. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now what we're going to do is just gently pull the tail. I'll just do that without the hook in there. Put your finger on the knot to stop it from pulling unevenly, and rest your thumb or finger on that middle part and pull it as tight as you can. Okay, until that hole is non-existent. There it is there. Now what I like to do now is turn it over onto the wrong side, and I'm going to do a knot to stop it from slipping open again. I might even give it one more, just to keep it in place. So you can see that using the magic circle is going to make it easier than using the chain circle, because 15 is a lot more than we normally do. So now we're going to join the last group of 3 and the chain with a slip stitch in the top of those 3 chain from the very beginning. And if you can manage it, if you can get 2 strands, it will keep it much neater. Okay, so that's the beginning. That's the first round of our star, and it's also the beginning pardon me, it's also the beginning of a granny square with 5 sides. So this is how you would start, and the next row would be a corner, or a double, the 2 lots of 3 in each of the chains, and then you continue on like you would for a granny square. But today we're going to make a star. So the next step is we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. Now if you wanted to do 5, you could do 5. That's perfectly fine, and you'll see how you would change this part. So now, as I've taught some of my other students, forget that that circle's even there. Just pretend that you're using those chains like you would if you were making something going across in rows rather than in a round. So we're going to skip our first, and we're going to go into the second chain from the hook, and we're going to do a single crochet. And then we're going to build up the size by yarn over. We're going to do a half double crochet. Which is exactly like a double crochet that we were doing in our circle that isn't actually there, because we're pretending it's not there, except that we pull through all 3. Then the next size up, the double crochet. Now if you wanted to do 5 chain at the beginning, the last one would be maybe a triple. I'm not going to say a half triple because it's too hard to explain. So a triple would work, which would be yarn over twice going into the chain, and you pull it through 2 yarn over, 2 yarn over, as you do with the double crochet, and then a 3rd time. That's a treble. But we're not going to do that today. We've just got the 3. The next step is you look for the first chain between the 3 on this body of the star. So there it is there, and we're going to do a slip stitch. And that's my dog walking past again. Sorry about that. So let's go through that one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Skip the first chain, do a single crochet, and then a half double. So we yarn over, put it through, yarn over again. You've got 4 stitches on your hook, and you pull it all the way through, yarn over, put it through that last chain and do a double crochet, and then we do the slip stitch into the next chain space. Okay, looking like a cute little cat at the moment, but hopefully you can see how that's going to work. We're going to end up going around and we'll have 5 little points around our star. I'll keep going. Okay, now we're back to the start again. You can see I've got the 5 prongs or points of the star. Now a lot of the tutorials that I've been watching finish it there. That's fine, you can absolutely finish it there if you want to, but I'm going to go a little bit further because I want it to be a bit bigger and a bit stronger. If you decide that you want to finish there and it's not quite firm enough or stiff enough to use as an applique, what you can do is turn over and paint on some PVA glue, and it will dry clear and it'll just stiffen that up a little bit. So it's just a bit of a hint. So it depends on the wool. Sometimes these ends curl in a bit, and that's why I like to do the next step. So what we're going to do now is we're going to work around using single crochets. So we've got, we're going to go into this first one here. It's a bit tight, I'll just go through that little space. And we do a single crochet, and then we're going to work our way up the first point. So using the bottom of that stitch, 1, whoops, 2 and 3, and then at the top of the point we're going to do 2 chain. This is a little different to some of the others that I've watched, but there's a good reason for that. So 2 chain, and then we're going to work our way back down again, which is actually the top. That's the top of the first single crochet in the point, and then that's the top of the half double, and that's the top of the double. And then we keep moving down. I'm going to put 1 in there, sort of in between the 2 points, and start working my way back up again. So it's 3 up, 2 chain, 3 down. 1, 2, 3. 2 chain, and then work our way down. 1, 2, 3, and that little bit in the middle there, and we keep going all the way around. Okay, so I've worked my way around. You can see that that star's starting to really show shape. It's still a little bit round at the top, but there's one more row to go around. So when we finish that third single crochet down the side of this point, we're going to go into that 1, 2, 3. We're going to go, sorry, into this one and do a slip stitch. We're going to work our way back up to the top, going in the top of those single crochets, just doing slip stitches. If you wanted to change colour, it might look really nice, but it's up to you. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to do, in that 2 chain slip there, we're going to do a single crochet and then we're going to do a picot. Now I'll show you how to do that. That's something new that you might not have heard of. 1, 2, 3 chain, and then you sort of turn your work to the side and you're going to put your hook into that lump, or the bump at the back of the chain. So there's 1, 2, 3. We're going to go to the back of that first chain that you did, and we're going to do a slip stitch like that, and then we're going to keep slip stitching down the tops of those single crochets. So that's the chain. That's one of the 2 chain that we did, so we'll skip that one, and I'm going to go straight into the first single crochet and do a slip stitch, and keep going down. Then we're going back up again. 1, 2, and 3. Then we've got to the 2 chain. We're going to do a single crochet in there, and then another picot. 1, 2, 3. Turn it to the side, go in through the bump, and do a slip stitch, and then work our way down again the top of those single crochets. 1, 2, 3. That middle part, and we're going to work our way back up again. 1, 2, 3, and we've got that 2 chain space, so we do a single crochet in there, and then we're going to do a picot. 1, 2, 3. Turn your work to the side and put your hook into that back of that chain. Oops, sorry. There we go. Do a slip stitch, then you work your way back down again, slip stitching. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and that's it. There's our beautiful little star, which those little picots at the very end just give it that lovely little point that we're looking for. What we're going to do is we're going to make a little sort of string so that you can hang this star if you want. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a slip stitch into that stitch there to give it a nice finish, and I'm going to do we're going to go up. Oh, let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, maybe a few more, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. It's totally up to you. how high you want your star to hang. Okay, so I've done 15. Now what we do is I'm going to do 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you've got a bit of a loop at the top to put things through. Then I'm going to go back into that. So it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the 6th chain from the hook. And I'm going to slip stitch down the chain now. So 1, 2, I won't count because it depends on how many you want to do and how long you want to make them or how fancy you want this to be. I just like this, doing the slip stitch just gives it a bit more strength, and it doesn't sort of hang so loosely. So I'm back to the bottom of the chains, and I've got a little sort of hanging piece, and up the top there you'll see there's a bit of a space that you can put a pin in or whatever you need to hang it up. If you're putting it on the Christmas tree, you can use that off the Christmas tree. So then to finish off, I'm going to turn my work around, and I'm actually going to do a slip stitch in the back of that chain, like we do at the bottom of a picot. And then to fasten off, what we do is we snip off some yarn. You can see I've still got a bit left from what I started with, so you really don't use much wool at all for this little star. We're going to do what we would do for a chain. Just pull it through, and just to keep it a little bit tighter, I like to put that back through there, and it just makes it that little bit tighter so that it doesn't come apart. And you can see there, it's nice and firm. And then it's up to you. If you wanted to use this as an applique, you probably wouldn't have the tail. You could just weave this through with a craft needle, and you've got a nice little attachment there that you could either attach it to a hair tie or perhaps to a pin or whatever you like. So I'm just going to tie that in a little bow until I decide what I'm going to do with it. And that is the end of our tutorial on stars according to Chris. And I hope that helps you do a star that looks really nice. You can always run through bits of wire if you really want to make it firm, but doing that extra row with the slip stitch around the edge has actually made it really nice and firm. So I'm really happy with that. I hope you enjoy making your own star.